drinking some coffee. I've talked about this video, this topic before. I have a short video about it, a couple of long videos about it over the time of the last 3 years. But it still continuously is a problem for some people. Some people still have problems. This is called, I would call it something like, they're like, don't make stupid people famous. It's like, don't make bullies famous, or don't make them important. Don't make bullies important. The lady that's having an issue with this, she asked me, well, how do you stand up to the bullies? I said, well, I'm pretty funny, and you've been around, sports and inner city stuff, and some people call it doing the dimes or something like that, where you say a bunch of things and you get a chance to, I don't know, they have these rap battles where they insult each other, where the celebrities, I guess they write their own. The one with the people from The Big Bang Theory, the lady and the Indian fella. Is he Indian? I don't know. Are you allowed to say Indian? I don't know. Is he from India? I don't know. But anyway, that was a pretty funny one. And I guess you diss those people. Diss them, dish them out some diss. I don't know. I guess diss is short for disrespect. I don't know. Any of that stuff. I don't know. But they'll say things to me. I usually give them one warning. Hey, you know what? You've kind of crossed the line here, so if you continue, I'm just going to go ahead and block you and remove whatever you said, either on Facebook or X or my channel. You'll see me removing people for that. I've been called. When they call me a Nazi, you just say, "Well, I'm not really a Nazi, but I'll give you that. It's kind of a heads up that you're getting close. I may have to." Block you, or just get you off of there. And I don't know if a lot of times they know they've been blocked. I think on Facebook they don't know. They just send things like, "Oh yeah, well you're this," and then it just goes into the ether. Is that what it's called? Their comments. But lady today had a concern. She said she watched all of my videos on bullying. She watched one of them. I think it was the short that she went to watch the long one. She goes, you know what, he's right. I'm not going to let them bother me. I'm just going to not let them bother me. If you let them bother you, they'll continue. That's how bullies work. You give them that first 25 cents when they come up to you and grab you by your shirt. And you give me the money. And then they're going to want 25 cents all the time. Or maybe they want $1. Maybe they'll tell you to steal out of your mother's purse and bring them $1 or $2. They always do something. And most of them are cowards, especially keyboard bullies. They're, oh yeah, you're this. Okay. Well, today's lady told me that she got her hairstyle. And she'd lost a little bit of weight, not a lot, but she lost some, and she's on this path for that on one of the Facebook groups for weight loss. I'm on a number of those. If you go, you'll see some of my stuff on there. Some keto ones. I did work with a lady on her book. It's about my story, and I got that from Facebook. Yeah, and so Facebook is my main social media import back and forth would be Facebook. I have some Facebook groups, and I'm on some Facebook groups, and everything from classic cars to local stuff, Monrovia groups, Arcadia groups. That's where I live. Maybe you have one in Philly. I don't know, Philly cheesesteak. I don't know, but so. That's my main one that I do, like kind of immediate conversation. A lot of people were doing that. Biden's going to win. It's going to be a landslide. I say no, he's not. Kamala Harris will win. It's going to be a landslide. Now they're doing the Kamala Harris did win. But you think if Kamala Harris did win, wouldn't somebody be out there investigating? No one's investigating because she did not win. I always think it's funny that in her book, the blame others book, kind of what is it called? 100 Days to Blame Others. I'm not going to read it. I've heard her speak on her book, and I know that's definitely a snooze fest, no read for me. When I do read on set, I like to read something that's interesting. One time I was reading a book. I'd rather read this book. I would rather read this book here. I got to fix this. I don't know. If you know how to do that, let me know. I try to do it because it's just not working. It's just not working. I did what they said to do. I went into my settings and all that, so I'm just on a problem. So many things will be backwards. Maybe this will be the backwards channel. The information hopefully is not backwards. But anyway, I'm not going to read her book. So that's out there. She can't run with Pete because he's gay. So what she do? She goes gets a less known less beneficial gay in Tim Walz. What's up with that? You know, Tim, sorry, we know your little secret. But anyway, they call me things, everything. If they call me things like a pedophile or a child molester, boop, they usually go. I'll just say, look, I usually get one warning, but in your case, boop, I'll go dot, boop, I get rid of them. So I just get rid of them. But I can stand up to the bullies. Yeah, if they tell me I'm fat, guess what I know? Hey, you don't got much hair. Hey, you know what? You're right. So a lot of stuff they do, you just can't take the teeth of the tiger because they're really dumb. A lot of them are really, really dumb. Like, I know you are, but what am I? They might say, when you're a little kid, oh yeah, well you're a redneck, you smell like a redneck, and your mom smells like a redneck, that kind of stuff. And then they get more, you're fat. The things you can really say things without being in too much trouble is you're a white guy, you're something prejudice against white, hey, you're a cracker, you're a whatever, you're a dipped in powder, whatever they want to call you, you're a a white trash or something. That's okay. Or hillbillies are okay. Fat shaming is still pretty much okay. You're fat, you know. Tranny stuff maybe a little bit too, but fat. Okay, so anyway, so this lady gets her haircut, and they said that she looks like a combination of that Thunberg lady, Rosie O'Donnell, and a boulder. You know, you look like you're just a big fat boulder. You're a boulder. Now, if you played football, so hey, you're a boulder. You know, I couldn't move that guy. I'd push him, and I couldn't move him. He's like a boulder. That'd be a compliment. Yeah, but in this case, not a compliment. You know, someone said to another lady, "You look like if Rosie O'Donnell and a pile of pig manure." They didn't say manure. Had a baby, it would be you. Now that's gonna maybe, you know. First of all, it's stupid. Most of their things they say is not even clever. And they're not clever, and then they're been used over and over and over again. There's nothing clever about that. No, nothing really interesting. Probably because they're not clever and they're not interesting. But they said it to her, and she did let it get to her, and she tried to stand up for herself. And I told, if you can't stand up for yourself, just block. Is that people don't block somebody? Is there? Do you really think one day they're going to say all this horrible stuff about you? Say, oh, hey, congratulations! I heard you lost 10 pounds. No. If they hear you lose 10 pounds, they'll say, what about the other 910 you need to lose? They're going to say things like that. That's what they're going to do. So it's not your fault they're doing it. People say it's your fault. Blame the victim. No, it's not your fault. But sometimes it's time to think about it. Do you want that person to be your friend? Are they your friend? Is that the kind of thing a friend does? No. So just block them. Block them. Because remember, you're not going to lose weight. You're not going to improve your blood sugar, your blood pressure readings. You're not going to do any of those things as long as you're having issues here. Unless you get to the point where you get yourself sick, worried sick, about them saying stuff about you. You know, if they're threatening violence, immediately call law enforcement, make a report. I'm telling you right now, if someone knocks on their door and says, I need to talk to you, are you threatening this lady? They're going to instantly not be a bully. They're going to be a sniveling little whatever. B word, not for bully. They're going to cry, and I was just kidding. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Every reason in the world now that you're realizing that you can go to jail for that. If they're not threatening violence, they're just saying you're fat. Someone just said, there's no lawyer that goes out and takes cases that protects you from the big bad wolf. If the big bad wolf is blowing at your door, you know, just don't open the door. So if they're doing this to you, and they're still doing this to you, and you watch my videos, you've talked to others, I'm sure, you know, just stop. People have killed themselves over what idiots are saying to them on the internet. So I'm not saying unplug the internet, but maybe someone says, oh, happy birthday, Susan. Well, hey, what'd you do for your birthday? Oh, it's so great, it's your birthday, happy birthday. And they send a little gif of Snoopy lighting a candle, and they're all dancing around, and Woodstock's got a hat, and Mickey Mouse is blowing on, and all this, and all this nice, and then someone writes, I hope this is your last birthday. I hope you're dead next year. Oh, okay. Yeah, happy birthday to you too. If it bothers you to the point where you are having difficulty sleeping, or you're afraid to open your internet because they may say something about you, you know, it's just it's an illuminated box in front of your face. You know, just if you have to turn off the internet, or if you have to leave maybe certain groups, a lot of people leave certain groups. because it gets really toxic, or whatever the word they want to use. They just leave the group. Yeah, so you can get out of the group. So if you're in a weight loss group and it's supposed to be giving you tips and encouragement, and they're saying things like you look like a boulder, like you and Rosie O'Donnell had a baby. Rosie O'Donnell and a boulder had a baby, and that's you. If they say you smell like a rotten egg, just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Don't make them famous. Don't make them important. Please, don't make them important. Other male call this, don't make bullies important. This will be out on, let's see, Saturday? Yeah, this will be out on Saturday. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this will be on Saturday. Today's Friday, so I'll have it out tomorrow. But just, please, if you need any help, let me know in the comment sections. You can show me what they said or what I would have done. You can just shut up. They hate that. Just SHUT space UP exclamation point, send it to them. And if they write you again, you can write to them SHUT space UP, and then maybe after Thursday, I told you to SHUT space UP exclamation point, and then just delete them. You don't need. Is that person going to develop into someone that you want to have a friendship with? Do you need a like or a click or a subscriber of that? No, you don't need that. People say don't negative comment. Treasure Boy was telling me this. He was told or read so that it's good to leave the negative comments on there because at least you have comments. And Treasure Boy, you're absolutely right. But if they're really hurting, eventually he had to stop them from coming in because they were saying some negative things about his wife. His wife, the kind of the gist of their thing, the shtick was he would look for things and say, oh, like this little tube of ointment could be worth something. It's just it's empty and it's broken. That's why it's there, or something like that, or something like with an unclaimed mail or something. That's why they returned it. It's broken, And she was very funny, and I love her. I think she's hilarious. And I think they're expecting, so that's great too. But they started going. You give them an inch. Sometimes, they wouldn't say it to his face or her face, but they'll. Yeah, you gotta be a real coward if you use this, you're less of a coward. I think if you use this, but you're still a coward. So when they do it to me, Nazi, this, that, I'm a Trumpster, I'm a MAGA Republican, I'm whatever. Donald Trump is. If you support Donald Trump, you're a pedophile because he's a pedophile. What? Where's the proof of him? I can guarantee you this guy's not. Where's the proof on him? Where's something? Where's one little iota of something other than spewing out of a purple-haired, face-pierced freak of a snowflake? So there is none, and you're just making it up. You're just making stuff up. So you don't want to be part of their fantasy. If their fantasy is to be a reporter for MSNBC, they probably could do it. It depends what they look like. Do they have a face for radio? I don't know. But just leave them alone. Just shut up. Click. Get rid of them. So yeah. So I'm sure he said other things to her. I'm sure it was a he. She didn't say it was a he, but I'm pretty sure. Wait, no, maybe not. I don't know. But you see that people say, words, I got freedom of speech. Yeah, but then your employer has the freedom to fire you. And if you're out there harassing some woman who perhaps has some mental, maybe a mental condition, maybe some self-doubt, maybe some poor, low esteem, I don't know. Why are you bothering her? Would you go, into the face of Shaquille O'Neal and say this stuff to him? No. How about The Rock? Chuck Norris 25 years ago. No, but you get kicked in the head. So you want to harass this lady because you're a bully. Probably been a bully all your life. Leave people alone. Shut up. But please, if it's bothering you, don't make them important. You don't want them to be your friend in person. You don't want them to be your friend online. You don't want them to subscribe to your channel to spew other. And if they're saying stuff about you, are they contacting your friends on a private message and saying bad things too? If I'm on Facebook, someone could write to one of my good friends, this guy, beware of this David guy, you know what he is, and put some doubt in someone's mind. I don't know, most people. But if these people are truly your friend in real world, real life, would they be doing this? No. So this is not your friend. Don't make them important. Take care. Bye-bye.